Another CGC order just rolled in. Let's see what we got.
Bry's Comics.
You would think that with so many submissions and seeing so many comic books and graded books coming in that you'd get a little burnt out on it, but not at all. Every single time I have a CGC unboxing is just as exciting as the first time, and every time I get to the last book in the box, I wish I had more, and I go and check when the next one is coming in. So I appreciate you guys watching these videos. I hope they're as entertaining for you as they are for me. And let's go ahead and do a discount code. Let's do Avengers 10 for 10% off everything in stock on the store, and we'll run that for 2 days. I will have the Gimme 3 and the Gimme 5 code still available. That's if you get 3 slabs or more, you get 15% off, and if you get 5 slabs or more, you get 20% off. So it's a really great way to save some money if you're going to stock up. And without further ado, let's crack into this box. So first up, we have Invincible Iron Man #1. This is the 2017 Volume 3 edition, the first cover appearance of Riri Williams as Ironheart in costume. These books always go super fast when I get them in, because there's so much potential for this book. We haven't seen its peak with the show coming out. Still no official date that the show is coming out, so it's a great time to pick them up. Definitely a lull in prices right now, and for the prices that I'm listing them at, it's probably why they go so quick. So let's see how many we got. So 4 of the cover A of Invincible Iron Man #1. All right, and next we have Invincible Iron Man #1, the Midtown Comics J. Scott Campbell exclusive cover. Definitely way more rare than the cover A, limited to 3,000. I prefer this cover because I love the colors, and I love that it shows Riri's face there on the cover. I think it makes the book more significant, especially because the significance of this book is the fact that she shows up in her armor for the first time. So you get to see her face and her armor there on the cover. So I just love this cover. Of course, J. Scott Campbell, just a legend. And let's see how many of these we got. So I see a problem with this one. So this one is labeled incorrectly. It just has the regular Invincible Iron Man cover A label. So it's encapsulated as if it was cover A, but it's really the exclusive. So this is with the Midtown label, and this is cover A. I mean, it still says Invincible Iron Man 1. It's still a 9.8. It's just, it says it's cover A, and it's not. It's the exclusive. So I'm going to have to send it back in to get reslabbed because, you know, collectors care about that kind of thing. It's just really frustrating because it's a whole lot of work. It's a big hassle to go online, fill out all the forms, package it up, send it off, then receive it back. I mean, it's just a huge hassle for such a really small error, but, you know, I do still feel like I have to do it. And it is interesting that this is the third submission where there was either a labeling error or a mechanical defect with the slabs. 3 out of 3 submissions in a row. That is definitely more than I'm used to from CGC. And I'm planning on either mentioning or doing an entire video on the defect rate for CGC from my experience, because I've submitted a lot of books over the years, and I'm curious for myself, what is the defect rate? And I'm curious to know what you guys think is an acceptable defect rate, because we know it's not 0, right? I mean, any reasonable person knows that there has to be some margin for error. CGC is a company made up of humans. We're all humans. It's impossible to think that there should be 0 defects coming out of CGC. I mean, we have to give them some margin of error, but the question is, what is an acceptable margin of error? And I'm pretty sure that the actual defect rate, at least for my books, and probably overall for them, is less than 1%. Like, out of 100 books, usually there isn't even one in that 100 books. That's been my experience, at least, but I will get an actual number based on my submissions, and I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments, what's an acceptable rate? Let's say you submitted 1,000 books. How many of those 1,000 books should we allow them to have, either defects in the slabs or mislabels or something like that. It's an interesting point. They do a great job of fixing it. As far as what they do to take care of their mistakes, they do a fantastic job. You can't complain about that. They overnight it, and that's a really nice touch. Is they pay for the shipping label with UPS and next day air it to themselves. They open it right away. They re-encapsulate it right away. So you can't fault them on how they fix their errors. But the question is whether or not there's an increase percentage of errors because of the increased volume that they're dealing with. And I don't know. We'll find out. All right. Something is Killing the Children, #1, the local comic shop day foil edition. I never get tired of looking at this one. This is such a fantastic cover, a beautiful book. I think every collector should have one of these, especially if it's definitely every Something is Killing the Children fan should have one of these. But this will go down as just one of the classic covers for Something is Killing the Children. And imagine, I mean, when a show comes out and if it's a really popular show, I mean, this has some serious potential long-term value for that book, I believe. All right, and here we have Something is Killing the Children, #2. So this is a straggler from my last submission. When you send in a large order of books, they break them up into 25 book increments into separate submissions. So my last submission was actually my first Something is Killing the Children complete set that I submitted, and this was one of them. So it just got put into the other submission. Just a beautiful Werther Dell'Edera cover. I love this Something is Killing the Children, #2. All right, now we have Disney Comics and Stories #13, and this is the Scorpion Comics Virgin Foil Edition with gold foil. And so I really like it that it's super subtle. It's just the buttons on Mickey's outfit there are gold foil. Just a fantastic looking book. Why it's not a 9.9, I don't know. All of these that I submitted, they're just flawless. There's no bindery tears. I mean, a super, super minor bindery tear at the top, but not at the bottom, and completely flat. Not a single scratch, not a single dent. I don't know. I had high hopes. I thought maybe, just maybe, this will be a 9.9, but nope, it's 9.8. Still haven't got my first 9.9 or 10 from submissions yet. So fingers crossed on that. And this also comes with a really cool COA and sticker from Scorpion Comics. Next, we have Young Avengers #1, and this is volume 2 from 2013. And this is the first team appearance of the new Young Avengers in Hulkling, Norva, America Chavez, Wiccan, Kate Bishop, and Kid Loki. So this book is definitely going to see some renewed interest with the Kid Loki spec behind it. And, you know, there's so many teams that are rumored for the MCU right now. Young Avengers, Dark Avengers, Champions, and they all seem super likely. And which one it's going to be is anyone's guess. And this one definitely has some potential because 4 of the 6 characters are either confirmed or rumored for the MCU. I mean, we've got America Chavez confirmed, Kate Bishop confirmed, Kid Loki, and Wiccan. So definitely some good spec potential with this, and let's see how many of these we got. So four of these. And you know, another great thing about this book is obviously most of us are priced out from Young Avengers, the volume 1. I mean, selling for over $1,000 consistently. It's a great, you know, alternative to get in on the Young Avengers spec without having to shell out over $1,000 for it. So that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. Remember, Avengers 10 for 10% off, Gimme 3 for 15% off 3 or more, and Gimme 5 for 20% off 5 or more. Make sure you're signed up for that newsletter over on brycecomics.com to be entered to win a monthly slab. This month is Local Comic Shop Day foil edition of Something is Killing the Children #1 that we just unboxed here. You can win one of those for free just by signing up for the newsletter. I appreciate all of you guys, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.
Bryce Comics.